This is Haojiang district. Across the estuary is the downtown to the city of Shantou. Okay, so I made a bit of a blunder on my trip. Now, originally I wanted to stop at the Haojiang People's Hospital, but I checked the map and it said there's another stop right across the street from the hospital. So I decided to stay on the bus and save myself the trouble of crossing the street on foot. Well, what really happened was it didn't stop for the entire next 2 stops and took me basically a whole kilometer from where I wanted to get off. So I'm basically at the downtown shopping area of Haojiang district. And I guess I'm just going to be walking all the way back to the original intended destination, which is across the river called Haojiang. Yeah, so this is like an elementary school, I believe. Yeah, it is. And that's a kindergarten. There's quite a few street vendors here, like with every elementary school in China, but right now obviously they're not out doing any business. The kids are already in school, so they're gonna have to wait until they get off school before they put out their little trolleys and getting a little bit of business for the evening and afternoon. But as we can see, this place is full of residential homes built by the local villagers and other residents. Privately owned, privately built, and yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to find my way back to the intended spot. Yeah, I just checked the map again. All I need to do is follow this quickly street all the way down and I'll be able to hit the bridge that I wanted to stay. Yeah, that's really cool. That would be the entrance to one of the old villages. I would say that's one of the fortress villages meant to protect the city from naval invasions. Generally they would have militias stationed at those fort villages, and some of them have armories and even gun placement. Yeah, like this one is obviously originally a wall that protects the village. There's quite a few of these around Dahao district. There's a few more in Oting as well. That's a different village all the way to the north. This has got to be the liveliest rehab center I have ever seen, and that's really awesome. Okay, continuing on to the riverbank, following this tiny street. Oh, I think it's probably one of the main streets in the village. In fact, yeah, it should be the main street in the village. But really what I'm looking for right now is a washroom. I desperately need to go to the bathroom right now. Yeah, and well, I can't find anything here. It's all private homes. Can't exactly just barge in. Here's a pretty cool temple complex. Don't really know what temple this is. Could be one for the local deity, could be one for Masu, could be one for one of the major clans in this area. I'll see. But generally speaking, a temple would have washrooms available. So I'll check it out, I guess. So I was able to find one public washroom around the temple's area. There's like 5 different temples all in the same location. One of them has a washroom attached to it, and surprisingly this is one of the few, if not the only one, that has signs which make sense in English, that's properly translated, as you can see in the video. Like, who would have thought? This is like the middle of nowhere, if you're a traveler in China. Yeah, nobody would come to places like this just for traveling or tourism purposes. But yeah, surprisingly they have the right translation for all the signs to save water and piss in the right urinal. Yeah. Obviously this is the market street. And I know there's a temple for Guangyu in the region. I think it's right in between this. Okay. Well, I guess this is a fork road. This is the weirdest fork road I have seen in ages, so I'm gonna take a photo here. This whole market street is around, I think, 1 kilometer to 2 whole kilometers long, filled to the brim with all kinds of shops, mostly restaurants and grocery stores, but you got stuff like a herb shop, you got, suppose that's a slippers and shoes shop. That's for sea products. Yeah, mostly dried clams, dried fish, seaweed and whatnot. A few delis here and there. This is all for smokes and drinks. Yeah, deli. Oh, here's a dentist. And a locksmith, bike repairs, fruits, and more dried goods. Yeah, this is the more developed, or I should say somewhat more modern part of the market street. In the back there's, that would be the rural part of the market street. But they all sell pretty much the same stuff. A lot of them are local fishermen. They would catch some shrimps, fish, clams, and especially oysters, which can fetch for a pretty good price. Yeah, and yeah, here we go. This is a fish seller. And there it is. That's Haojiang, the riverbank. I'll cross the street to walk along the river for a bit. See, now they have shared bikes all over the district, like the green and the blue. Back then they had none of these. So if I were to come here, I need to either grab a taxi or have someone drive me here. But now I can just ride one of these. Well, I do still need to take a bus or a taxi to go across the estuary through either the tunnel or the bridge. But once I get to this district, I can pretty much do whatever I want on these bikes. Practically the entire district has access to the shared bikes. This is the internal organ of the fish, I think. Exactly what organ it is, I have no idea. I think it's like the swim bladder, but I could be very much wrong. I really don't know. But yeah, these are the local fishing boats. This here is a freshwater river, and it does lead all the way into the Pacific Ocean as well. Okay, that's the ice ship, concrete ship. There's a few concrete ships around this area. They are very cheap to build, and the problem is that they're hard to maintain, and they do not exactly have the right weight composition to be used for any speed traveling purposes. Pretty much you can just think of them as docks. Yeah. Quite a few egrets around here as well. That's a school of fish. Water's a bit murky, but it's alright. Not exactly super dirty or anything. Just a bit murky. They do clean it up. They do clean it up sufficiently, so at least the fish aren't going to be diseased when you eat them. Right now I have two options, either to take that bridge or to take this bridge and go across to whatever that part of the district is. Well, looks like there's a ferry boat service at that dock there, but I have no idea what their service schedule is like, so I suppose I'm just gonna hop onto a bike and get over there through the bridge.